program primarily focuses on developing research-based soil test recommendations for crops in Arkansas, including soybeans. Primarily, we're working on phosphorus and potassium, and we do a lot of trials that involve fertilizer rates, and then we see how soybean yields respond to those fertilization rates across soils that have different availabilities. Another aspect of our program has been doing field work with chlorides to examine how chloride includer and excluder soybeans behave in the field, because most of that research has been done in the greenhouse just simply from a screening perspective. Chlorides are truly an emerging issue. They've been around for years. So we started looking at the soybean yield performance in the variety trials, and it showed that in most of the trials, chloride includers and excluder varieties yielded similarly. But at our roar station in southeast Arkansas, where the well water is known to have a lot of chloride, we saw that the excluders almost every year were producing about 5 bushels better than the chloride includers. And what we have basically seen is that chloride includers, the yields may drop 10 to 15 bushels per acre when you have high chloride levels, whereas a chloride excluder may not be affected at all, or you may only have a yield decrease of 4 or 5 bushels. There's two aspects of water quality. One is, does the water increase soil pH? Essentially, any place on the west side of Crowley's Ridge and in southeast Arkansas, our water increases soil pH. The other aspect of water quality is how much salt does it contain. And the chloride is a very specific salt that soybean is known to be sensitive to. In southeast Arkansas, Chico, Ashley, Deshay, Lincoln counties, the water there is known to contain relatively high amounts of chloride. The chloride and the salts that are in irrigation water that cause problems are soluble. So even if we pump good water onto fields, and the farmer is a good steward of that water, meaning that the water moves across the field and exits the field into a drainage ditch, and then he is able to maybe reuse that water and put it in another field. The chlorides that are in the soil are soluble, so a lot of times the salt content when the water moves from one field to the next continues to increase. So even farmers that may have a on-farm system where they're able to catch their runoff water and recirculate it, you can still have chloride problems with surface water sources. The soybean plants, a lot of times, even where we're seeing 10, 12, 15 bushel yield loss, show absolutely no signs of chloride injury until almost maturity. So the tissue analysis of the leaves has been pretty interesting in that it helps us identify a hidden problem for a large part of the season. Variety selection is very important, and that's where you need to know what your water quality is. If you have water that has high chloride concentrations and you have poor soil drainage, you need to be selecting a variety that is known to be a chloride excluder.